What's up guys, Pyroxius here, and this is my overview of the Demonology warlock, guys. And I'm not gonna lie, this thing is amazing as fucking fuck. So let's just get into the video straight away. So yeah, let's just take a look at the talent choices here. And I mainly make PvP videos on my channel, but this is also gonna be for PvE, since I raid on my warlock as well, guys. I'm a heroic raider. I didn't do mythic in warlock simply because I couldn't be arsed. Because I just couldn't find a good raiding guild for myself, so I decided to start one for my own. And well, we basically cleared heroic, and in the last few weeks we don't feel like clearing mythic as well, which is the fucking bullshit. Actually, it doesn't feel worthwhile. So we will do that in Legion. So let's just get into the spec. I'm gonna tell you I will main this spec in Legion, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's amazing. You get all these talent choices that literally all of them are awesome. There is nothing like the fantasy of the spec. Feels really good, and it's amazing. It has such a powerful toolkit, and I'm just gonna show you guys. Fuck this shit. So Tier 15, Shadowy Inspiration, Shadow Flame, Demonic Calling. All of these are actually great. At first I thought Demonic Calling was really bad, but after testing it a lot, it's so strong. It's so handy. It's the 20% chance to make your next cult Dreadstalker, sorry, because no soul shards, which is honestly, it's 20% chance, which is quite good. And you cast Shadow Ball all the time, and Demonic Empowerment no longer has charges. It's just spammable. So technically, you could just do this, like Demonic Empowerment, Shadow Bolt, Demonic Empowerment, Shadow Bolt. See, and it's like the same cast speed as like a Shadow Bolt in comparison, because this is a slightly slower cast time. But the only downside of using this is your mana will drain really fast with it. So I would not suggest using it. Shadow Flame. Yeah, well, Shadow Flame is really good for a PvP, or to stack up like the Hand of Gul'dan, because you can get 3 stacks up now if you do it right, which is amazeballs, obviously. But it's hard to do so, and I do not prefer this, honestly. I do prefer Demonic Calling or Shadowy Inspiration, depending on your play. So if you just play normally with Shadowy Inspiration, you just do a Shadow Bolt, then you like empower your demons, do like your Hand of Ghoul, instantly cast like this behind it or something like that. That's how you can make use of Shadowy Inspiration without spamming Demonic Empowerment all the time. Those are wild imps, by the way, which are gonna spawn a lot. So if you never played demo before, wild imps basically used to generate demonic fury, and now they just deal damage, because you don't have demonic fury anymore, which is a good thing, because, well, I prefer the soul shard system. It's way better, honestly. So Shadow Flame, it's not bad. I think it's quite capable of getting good deeps off, but I prefer Demonic Calling. And why? Because this actually costs me 2 soul shards, and this chance is quite big, so let's just spam a few out and see when we get the proc for it. So we're not gonna spend our soul shard, we're just gonna keep spamming them. Technically it should be like 1 out of 5. Now we're getting a slightly bad luck here with like casting the Shadow Bolts off. There we go, now we actually got 3 procs, so you actually use that up, and most of the time you get these procs often enough to be able to just spam Hands of Gul'dans out, if you know what I'm saying. Demonic Empowerment before the cooldown drops off Dreadstalkers, which is amazing, honestly. Like right now I'm tempting to have a bit bad RNG looking at it, but it's honestly, I love it. So there is again, and 99% of the time you're actually going to be able to keep it up without casting or without costing you any soul shards, which is amazing. See there, the proc is again, and it lasts for like 16 seconds or something, so it's really strong to keep up. Don't forget to keep your doom up as well. I'm not empowering my demons right now, but yeah, well, it just makes sense to show you guys off the talent. So let's pull my own bat back and let's let them do the fucking fighting there. And I honestly love this. So let's go into the next tier of talents. I would prefer like Demonic Calling over this time, and Shadow Flame is good for PvP, I found out, because you can just like use it when you need it. Impending Doom. Doom also summons 1 wild when it deals damage. Really good in AoE in combination with Hand of Doom, if the ads or like the mobs you're nuking actually are alive long enough. Let's keep it on that. So I would not take it for single target. And why? Because you got improved Dreadstalkers, obviously, which also summons 2 wild imps. Cool little thing which I'm gonna show you right now is, you probably already noticed if you watch more videos, but look at them imps. They are actually riding on the Dreadstalkers, which is amazing. Like, little bit of immersion there. Let's pull them back. again, and I absolutely loved it. So it basically is really strong, especially if you like Demon Bolt, because that will instantly give you 40% more damage again, or Tau Chaos Consumption, because that will just give you more health to sacrifice, basically. Implosion. Okay, I'm gonna go into Implosion. At first I thought Implosion would suck balls, but after testing it quite a lot in both PvE and PvP, this talent is amazing. It's so strong, especially in PvP. Like in PvE, it's only strong in like loads of AoE situations, or when you like are perfect at timing or tracking your wild aims and then blowing them up at the last time. Then it's quite strong. But in PvE, I just prefer improved Threat Stalkers overall for like the higher Taukiel's consumption and like the more sustained damage, if you know what I'm saying. Although Implosion doesn't have cooldown, and it's the burst option. Definitely is the burst option, guys. In PvP, this is amazing because it allows me literally to two-shot people. It's not like it's like the one-shot macro, if you know what I'm saying. We don't have any DPS cooldown except our summon Doomguard. So technically, Talkiels and Implosion can be our one-shot. So yeah, that's what I use it for most of the time, but I prefer improved Dreadstalkers for just in PvE situations. Demon Skin, Mortal Shadow Fury. Why does this have a cooldown? Again, Blizzard, this is not needed. Sucks. Mortar Coil sucks. I don't like it at all because it is not as strong as Demon Skin. Makes you regen 1% of your max health each 1 second. So after 11 seconds, you actually have the amount of health this thing gives you. Although this one incapacitates people for 3 seconds, but it's on a 45-second cooldown. I hardly find this more useful than a 20% maximum HP shield in combination with the Soul Leech passive that you now have standard. And honestly, this is just so good, especially for survivability in combination with Dark Pact, because it literally allows you to have such a big ass shield. Honestly, you have like a fucking 600k shield now or something, which is a really strong shield. It allows you to pull off and peel off loads of melee mobs and melee players actually in PvP and both PvE. And if you get like aggro on you for like something or like something that fixates you, like for example the Gurtok Blood Boil guy in Hellfire Citadel does, there are probably going to be more bosses like that in the future that have like a fixate ad or anything like that. Then Demon Skin would be brilliant for that, because it's just a passive 20% increased health basically on a shield, if you know what I'm saying, and that's awesome. Okay, Hand of Doom, Power Trip, or Soul Harvest. This one works extremely well with Shadow Inspiration, guys, Power Trip, because it actually gives you the chance to like get 2 soul shards out of like 1 spell, kind of. So yeah, that's quite cool. Hand of Doom is really strong with Impending Doom if you have like loads and loads of AoE. I already told you that before. But now I'm gonna go into Soul Harvest, which I expect. They changed Soul Harvest. Before, it only in the previous Legion builds, because it's a new talent obviously, it just gave you 5 soul shards on a 2-minute cooldown with a channel time. No, now it's just a DPS cooldown, and I love that. It's like your only DPS cooldown that you actually have that literally increases your DPS instead of summoning a powerful demon to do it for you. And this also works for your demons, obviously, because if you deal more damage, your demons deal more damage because of the stats going to your demons. So that's wonderful, guys. So Soul Harvest increases your damage by 20% last 10 seconds instead of increased by 2 seconds for each target you have inflicted with Doom. So every spec has this talent now, and for Demonology it's Doom, for Destruction it's Immolate, and for I believe for Affliction it was Agony. I don't know for sure, I think it was Agony, or like another dot probably. But this is basically like Wings, but then for yeah, a Warlock. It does exactly the same thing as Wings though. The thing is, 2-minute cooldown, and this is brilliant in AoE. It gives you up to 30 seconds, guys. That's really much, and it doesn't have one hell of an animation or anything, but it's really strong in combination with Taukiel's consumption, which I'm gonna explain more in part in the rotation and those kind of things. So we have like Demonic Circle, Burning Rush, Dark Pact. Dark Pact is for me hands down the best out of this one. Demonic Circle should just be baseline Blizzard. Again, there's no point in fucking putting it down there. Choosing between survivability and movability is never a good choice, Blizzard. So I don't know why it's a talent. I would just give it baseline. It was an OP. It has a long ass cooldown, honestly, and I don't really see the point of taking this over Dark Pact. Burning Rush, well, it always was a talent, but I never liked Burning Rush. It's basically killing yourself for movement speed, which is handy in like raids where you cannot fly or like you cannot like mount up, so you can't run. But 99% of the time, I won't use this, even in raiding, like especially when you have the choice of Dark Pact now. This is definitely better, because now you can basically get Demon Skin and Dark Pact, so you have both like survivability, like sustain shields and healing, as well as a burst shield. So why the hell would you take Burning Rush then? Like, I can understand Demonic Circle, because it's like really fucking handy, but honestly, let me move away of this guy for a real sake, it's quite annoying. Dark Pact is definitely the superior choice here. Let's go into the Grimoire talents, level 90 now, nowadays. Grimoire of Supremacy, Grimoire of Service, Grimoire of Synergy. This one does not increase your DPS. I'm pretty fucking sure it doesn't. Why? Because Felguard hits the same amount almost, honestly, even when it's empowered. It's just, there's not a big difference between the two. And you lose one of your DPS cooldowns, Summon Doomguard, which is now only on a 3-minute cooldown, guys. So you can no longer choose both Service and Supremacy, because like this used to be Demonic Servitude. Now it's Supremacy. So it allows you to permanently summon a Doomguard or Inferno. I don't like it. I would rather have my little Felguard here, who actually looks cooler as well, with a big ass axe in his hands, and has a huge ass AoE opportunity, and a stun. So I'm not gonna lie, I would rather have my Felguard up. So Grimoire of Service is, I think, probably the best choice, especially if you use the cooldown. Like, how long is the cooldown of this thing? Not long, 1.5 minutes, guys, and you summon it for 25 seconds, which is a huge good time up if you use it with Soul Harvest and your Doomguard, obviously. And you can empower it, because this lasts for like 12 seconds, spammable now. So if you empower those as well, this thing already deals 100% increased damage, guys. So if you summon a Doomguard with it, for example, or like use it to seduce or interrupt a target, cleanse a magic effect from you, whatever. I use it with Felguard most of the time, because Felguard just does the most damage out of all minions. So yeah, they actually have a Felguard that hits like 40 to 50k each half a second with an auto attack, which is really strong. And let's take a look at how much HP the Felguard got. 775k. 10% of that is 77.5k, so actually Taukiel's consumption deals 77.5k, and if we empower a minion, he actually gets 56% more health, which gives him, oh well, 10% of it is like 120k, so that means that you get an additional 120k damage to your Taukiel's consumption for just one soul shard. And next to that, it also spikes, and then you still have your Summon Doomguard, and now you also have Soul Harvest, so that's a really wonderful way to line up your burst, honestly. So I will go Grimoire of Service if I were you. But then you also have Grimoire of Synergy. I don't know how much this triggers, that's the point. I think it triggers 2 times a minute, so technically you have 1 minute, of your pet has 1 minute of 30% increased damage, or 15 seconds I believe, and then you have like you, so having 30% increased damage for like 15 seconds. So I don't know if you both have like 2 procs a minute, or only one of you can that, because that means that technically you have 30 seconds, or like 1 minute in total of the 2-minute cooldown on this guy, kind of like after 2 minutes, to actually have like 1 minute of 30% increased damage for your pet or you. So I don't know if this will outdamage Service. I personally do not think that, because this literally is so bursty, so strong, and it lines up wonderfully with your cooldown. So I would definitely go for this one, although this one is perfectly viable for less experienced players. It just triggers like that. The only thing you have to do is watch out for the procs and line up your big burst with the procs of 30% increased damage, because that's a lot though. 30% is a really big amount, but it's better to have it on your path, because you actually hit like a wet noodle compared to the rest. I don't know if it empowers you, it will also empower your minions that you summoned, but I don't think it does out of the testing results. So yeah, summon Dark Glare, summon Demon Bolt, or Demon Bolt, summon Demon Bolt. Soul Conduit. I prefer Soul Conduit, and that's especially for Hand of Gul'dan, because I can spam out more minions with it, and I've honestly loved it. Although Demon Bolt is perfectly viable for getting you loads of self DPS, if you know what I'm saying. It's also slightly better for your mana, because it costs slightly less mana, but well, it doesn't really matter that much. What it does, it's basically the same as Shadow Bolt, but it increases with 20% damage for each demon you have active. You passively have one demon active, so that's already 20% more damage. Then you have your Hand of Cooldown, your Dreadstalkers, which you should always have up at any time. And most of the time you will have 8 wild imps up instead of like, I don't know, like 4 that we have now. So what does that mean, guys, for us? So that actually means for us that technically, if you have 4, let's just go with 4 wild imps and like 2 Dreadstalkers, and if you have like the improved Dreadstalkers, so that's 4, so that's 8 plus 1, you always have 9 times 20 damage, which is almost, it's 180% more damage. So that means that this thing deals almost triple the amount of damage it says here, which is quite good. I guess it's the same as an Incinerate at that point. But I would honestly prefer Soul Conduit, because this actually helps out a lot, like you can probably see happening all the time. Because you wait till 4 soul shards before casting this. This costs 2 soul shards. You spend soul shards all the time, more than every other spec. So for you, this talent is more viable than for every spec, because this is literally changing your rotation sometimes. If you use a Hand of Gul'dan, yeah, and you're at 4 scale or 4 soul shards, and then you use it and you only lost 1 soul shard, for example, for that Hand of Gul'dan, that means that you do 1 Shadow Bolt and you instantly can Hand of Gul'dan again, which actually results in you allowing you to line up incredibly much demons, empowering them and doing Talkiel's consumption. And this is why I choose this. Dark Lair is really strong for AoE though. Don't underestimate this thing. This thing hits like a truck in AoE. But for single target, I just prefer Soul Conduit, especially in PvP with the Implosion build, because Soul Conduit can get you way more wild imps up than any of these other talents, and that in combination with Implosion is really powerful, honestly. So yeah, let's go into the honor talents real quick. This is not that big of a deal, honestly, for most PvE players, so yeah, just watch it out. This, you have your medallion, which is basically your medallion. The other 2 talents are not as valuable unless you're a human. Then you should choose whatever you like. Train of Thought, Initiation. I don't like this, honestly. This is really strong though if you Talkiel consume somebody above 80% HP. But while you 99% of the time do it at like 50 to one-shot people, so there's not really a point in taking it. I take Mind Quickness. 6% haste is really valuable with this spec, because you want to generate more soul shards, which you basically do by spamming Shadow Bolts. So yeah. Damage increased by 50% being not attacked for 18 seconds. This is good in BGs. This is really good in BGs when you don't get focused, because this actually also applies to your minions, obviously. Curse of Tongues, Curse of Weakness, Curse of Fragility. This one is really strong in arenas for bursting up people, but I always prefer Curse of Tongues because it increases the casting time of all spells. This fucks over healers, guys, by a mass amount. Curse of Weakness doesn't really seem to help. I don't know if it's bugged or what it is, but it just doesn't seem to be as powerful as the other 2. So I would say Curse of Tongues. Essence Drain. I don't use Drain Life that often, honestly, if I ever use it at all. Casting Circle, I thought this was really good until I like, it doesn't work against stuns, and it doesn't work against incapitations and those kind of things. It works against interrupts and silences, so rogues still fuck you over even if you have the Casting Circle up. And if you're fighting ranged that are not hunters, Natural Ward definitely fucks them over harder. If you fight a Fire Mage or any other Warlock spec, whatever the spec is, put up Natural Ward and it's like a touch of karma. It just reflects everything. It's so strong for 5 seconds, only on a 45-second cooldown. This can deny somebody's burst. You should imagine if you have another Demonology against you that uses his Talkiel's consumption on you with Natural Ward, then he actually gets his own Talkiel's consumption, which almost can one-shot him. So that's definitely good. Since Magic, I don't like this. You have to have your imp up anyways to use it, so why would we do it? Because definitely the Felguard is the strongest. That's what you think though. Call Fel Hunter. Definitely the best talent if you go for a Fel Hunter as a pet. Or I mean for a Felguard as pet, because this just basically is another interrupt, only on a 24-second cooldown, and it also summons a Fel Hunter which will attack, which is again a DPS increase. But this is my go-to talent in PvP, Pleasure Through Pain. So you have to actually use a succubus for this, but the thing is with it, that's yeah, well, it increases your shadow damage by 15% and the cast time of your Shadow Bolt is reduced, which means, again, more soul shards and more damage in return. And if you look at your spells, Talkiel's consumption is shadow damage, Shadow Bolt is shadow damage, Doom is shadow damage. Yeah, Hand of Gul'dan is shadow damage, or Shadow Flame. Implosion Shadow Flame, which actually also gets increased by shadow damage partially, not the full amount. This is shadow damage. Everything almost is shadow damage, so this is basically almost a 15% damage increase, because it's just so strong, honestly. Let's go into the last talent here. Master Summoner, Call Fellowlord, Call Observer. Call Observer is honestly the best spec, or like the best cooldown against spellcasters. Well, sorry for the sneeze there. Call Observer is definitely against spellcasters, simply for the fact that it's like line up and it fucks over spellcasters, because it literally hits them with 6% of their HP as shadow damage, which actually also gets increased by this again. If they cast a harmful spell against you, and it's instantly. So if they keep casting that into like the circle of the column of the observer, basically, they will just be nuked down incredibly fast, especially if they have full HP, because it's your total health. So it's not your max health, if you know what I'm saying. It's the amount of health they have. So it still is really strong though, because it's literally like it forces them to retreat at a point if you put this up. Call Fellowlord. This is so strong against melees, because you don't want to summon this on them. No, you want to summon this on yourself, because this gives them a choice to actually attack you. If they attack you, they get knocked down, stunned, and get shit loads of damage, because this thing hits like 500k crits, guys. But it stands at one location, so they actually have a choice to retreat out of that circle, not being able to do damage. Yeah, and this actually allows you to just free cast on them and summon more demons than you already have on them, which is gonna fuck them over eventually anyway. So the only thing that they viably can do is run away for you at that point. But it actually gives you time to peel, and it can also be casted on like healers and things, so the healer can't be touched, and they can basically go stand in the circle and they can free heal everybody, which is really good in arena. But I prefer Master Summoner, which increases the duration of your wild imps and your dreadstalkers, makes dreadstalkers instant, and that is just incredibly good, especially because now you can have 4 dreadstalkers up, and in combination with implosion you can line up even more imps, because they last double the time they do now, so they actually last 24 seconds. That in combination with implosion allows you to line up double as much imps before imploding them, which is always a good thing. Because implosion hits for like 80k per imp, so let's imagine that you have 10 imps up, that's 800k, and that's what people never seem to realize about implosion. And it's also AoE and non-shared damage. Everybody will get the same amount of damage, so it doesn't mean if I hit 80k it will be spread over 5 players. No, that means that all the 5 players will get 80k damage. This in combination with Master Summoner is just brilliant. So let's just get into the rotation part of the video now, because honestly, we haven't done that. Like it's gonna last quite a bit now, so let's just get into that, guys. So we got the Raiders training done. What you want to do is you want to start out, definitely, if you go for like what I have now, you want to start out with casting a Shadow Bolt and instantly applying a Doom behind that and keep going like that. You want to watch your soul shards down in the top corner of the screen, and technically I always start out with this, with a Hand of Gul'dan, but if you don't have the challenge you can just go for anything else. And that's basically what I do. I always try to get 5 so I can get more up of them. See, and there we go. I'm having quite a bad luck with the proc coming up now. But well, that's okay. Let's just not summon Dreadstalkers for now. And if it really is going to take too long, you just summon them anyways. Because now I feel like summoning them though. Because I'm going to lose DPS while I not do that. So let's keep it going on. And keep our level Hand of Gul'dans up. Demonic Empower them. And let's get some fun and prepare for our first burst phase. So you want to go up to 5 starts. There we go. There we go. We summon this one. We're going to summon Dreadstalkers. Do instantly Hand of Gul'dan. Empower them. And then you do your Soul Harvest. And then you do your Talkiel's Consumption. And look how hard that hits. Boom. 1.2 million, guys. So that's a good thing. I just wasted a Soul Shard there. That's no problem. You just kind of keep on going like that. Try to keep your Doom up, which I don't do ATM. But I should do it after this. Let me empower them first, and let's keep our Doom up as well, because Doom actually hits for quite a big amount. So yeah, there's no point not keeping it up. So let's get more of them in, and let's empower our minions again. And now you already see that we're getting in mana issues. Technically, this is never really an issue, because you can like just get this up again with life tap. And because of your soul leech and your thing, you really easy regenerate that in a raid environment, guys. So let's keep that going on. Drop our little imps again, and let's go like this, go like that, and let's summon our minions. Do one more Hand of Gul'dan, instantly empower them again, and apply our Curse of Doom. There we go. and Shadow Bolt again. There we go, nicely done, and spam it on the Hand of Gul'dan and do an empower immediately after that to keep the empowerment rolling, and spam Shadow Bolts again, and we can summon 3 Dreadstalkers there. We're gonna get another one, so I'm gonna start precasting this, empower them again, and go on like this. This is basically your sustain rotation, kind of. Keep your Doom up, there we go, let me reapply Doom, and you will see that my Felguard is off cooldown again, like my summon Felguard thingy, which is obviously a good thing. So we want to try to get that going on again. We just got a free proc for our next Dreadsteeds, which is always a good thing. So now you want to empower them up again and use your Telkiels again. I don't know if it was on cooldown already long there, but you should try to use it on cooldown. But use it when you got shit loads of demons up though. So we're gonna do it like this, empower them again, and then we're gonna life tap because we're running out of mana there. And we're gonna keep rolling. After the Shadow Bolt, we want to do Doom again, and that's basically what you want to try to keep up. I don't have any weak auras or anything right now, so don't be that hard on me. It's quite hard to track all the demons going out and my cooldowns, those kind of things. So that's what you want to try to keep up. Let's try to keep them empowered like this, and keep the Shadow Bolts rolling. So we actually get like 3 soul shards, and our Doom just ticked there, so we're gonna instantly reapply that. Summon our Dreadstalkers. And we want to line that up now. Oh, I'm just fucking things up there, casting Shadow Bolt to a wrong target. We want to empower it again. We want to do this, line up our little thing there, do a Telkios consumption with that, and keep our imps rolling like this. You saw that Telkios consumption didn't hit as hard because my imps expired at the point I casted it, which is a bad thing for me obviously, but well, it doesn't really matter that much anyways. So stolen power, damages the next Shadow Bolt is increased, which is like an artifact proc. Let's keep our Hands of Gul'dan rolling, empower them again, because there's new minions that need to be empowered as well. Keep the Shadow Bolts rolling. So let's try to finish this rotation up by doing a Hand of Gul'dan again, and summoning our Dreadstalkers and empowering them like this. So this is basically how you play Demonology. Let's just take a look at the pat damage for that one real quick. Like you see, they all hit extremely fast and hard, and that's what we love, don't we? So I'm really positive about this spec, guys. I think that the stats priority of this spec will be Mastery, because you want to empower your things, and Mastery now increases the damage that your Demonic Empowerment does, or increase the damage your Demon does with Demonic Empowerment, that's the right word. And I think it will be Haste, because you want to generate as much soul shards as you can to actually get more minions up, and that's really good in combination with Mastery. It might become crit for your minion as well, I don't really know. But we will see that going on, and obviously intellect, because that always increases your damage, guys. So there you go, guys. This is my overview and my guide on what I think of the Demonology Warlock, and I'm just really pleased to say this is definitely the most fun Warlock spec for me, and probably for loads of others, because I've heard this feedback loads of times before. It's a spec that's honestly really fun to play. It's quite hard to master though, and to line up things, but it has really in-depth mechanics, and it has a toolkit for every situation thing. It's good at AoE, it's good at single target, but the only downside of it is that you have to life tap a lot, and well, it can be quite a big clusterfuck to track all your demons without any add-ons, but well, that will probably be fixed in a live game anyways. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Pyroxius. Make sure to like the video, leave a comment for me, leave your thoughts about the Demonology Warlock. What do you guys think of it? Do you guys want to main it in Legion, or do you prefer the other Warlock specs, or another class obviously? And follow my social media, and please subscribe to me for more Legion content and some more other contents. I might do some other games as well, but right now I'm really awesome in the Legion beta, testing everything, so that probably is like what I'm really busy with ATM. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video, guys. See you guys.